Hey sis, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, then hey, my name is Julia and I am a flight attendant. For today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about how much I make as a new hire flight attendant at my current company. This video shouldn't be too long, but based on how slow I talk and how many words I am going to use to make sure that you guys understand, we will actually see. And also, I haven't done a sit down video in a while, so yeah, I'm a little rusty. So let's just jump right into it. First things first, as a new hire flight attendant for my current company, we make $21.04 an hour. Now, I think that is on the lower end. As a matter of fact, it is on the lower end. We are getting paid less than some regionals. I think that it's very interesting that we are one of the lowest paid. But anyway, we get paid $21.04 an hour, and our per diem is $2.60 some cents. I don't remember the actual amount and I couldn't find it. So we're just going to say $2.63, just, for the math to make sense. So $2.63 that we get an hour once we check in for a trip and begin our time away from base. Now, also at my company, they do offer overtime, and overtime is any amount of time that you work over 85 hours. At my company, like many other companies, we do not get paid for boarding or any ground time when we are waiting for our next flight to begin or deplaning or anything like that. So when I am referring to per hour, I am speaking on the time between when the door closes in the beginning of the flight and when the door opens back up again when we are finished the flight. At my company, we are paid twice a month, and that is the 15th of each month and the last day of each month. The 15th check is the big check at my company because in that check, we get paid half of our guarantee, which is 36 hours. That check also has our per diem, all of our per diem from the previous month. So December 15th check is going to have per diem from November. And then also overtime is in that check, overtime from the previous month. So again, December 15th check will have overtime that you worked in November. So that's why everybody looks forward to the 15th check, because it has the most money and it has the most things on it. So that's where you're going to get paid the bulk of your money. And then for the check for the last day of the month, that includes the other half of our guarantee, which again is 36 hours, which brings us to a total of 72 hours at my company. The guarantee that we get on reserve is 72 hours. So 36 hours on the 15th, 36 hours on the last day of the month. Now, the guarantee that you are receiving is for the current month that you are in. So the company kind of trust that you are going to work those hours, and if not, they will take the money back, like the difference back on the check from the next month. So say in December you end up not working in your 72 hours. If you worked, for example, 67 hours, they would subtract that difference in the check in January. And this is of course referring to line holders. So if you do end up getting to become a line holder as a new hire, like early on in your career, you can understand that you do have to actually work those 72 hours as opposed to a reserve flight attendant who is just guaranteed those 72 hours. Now, back to the last check of the month. That includes, again, the other half of your guarantee, so 36 hours, and any credit card money that you make. So at my company, we do say an announcement for credit cards. And if you get someone to fill out an application, you get $5 on that last day of the month check. And if the application is approved, I believe it's another $20 on top of that. So it can end up being a grand total of $25. So that money is on the last check of the month. And then is there anything else on there? Yeah, and that's it for the check that's on the last day of the month. So credit card money, which is not really guaranteed, and the other half of your guarantee. So that of course is going to be a smaller check compared to the 15th check, unless you sell like a whole lot of credit cards. Okay, so based on the guarantee that we receive as reserve flight attendants, the 72 hours, a bare bones check, and I mean bare minimum, no per diem, no extra money, would be $757.44, and I'll let you know how I got to that. So how I got to that was just multiplying 36, which is half of your guarantee, by $21.04, and then you get $77.44. So if you are a reserve flight attendant and you don't get any per diem from your previous month, anything extra, no overtime, your check would be $757.44, and of course minus taxes based on, you know, where you live. So I just wanted to let you know what a like bare minimum check would be, just to give you an idea. But I will also show you guys how much you can make. Of course, it can be more, it can be less, but I will show you guys the biggest check that I received and kind of what went into me being able to make that amount. So to date, the biggest check that I have received is $2,310.02. Now, that was with me working 75.53 hours. So that number comes from 36 hours, which is half of our guarantee, and then 26.53 hours that I worked extra on top of the guarantee amount. Okay, y'all, so I completely forgot to mention the 13 hours that I worked, and you must work in order to start earning the time and a half pay. So I am going to put it up on the screen for you guys, where 36 hours, you can see that is the guarantee, and then at the top of the picture it says overtime 13 hours, because your guarantee is 72 hours, and then 13 hours plus the 72 hours is 85 hours. And like I mentioned earlier, you have to work over 85 hours in order to start earning that overtime hourly. Now you can see where it says salary half OT. That's when I started making the $31.56 with the additional 26.53 hours that I worked. So I really hope that this didn't make everything completely not understandable. But if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section. I'm so sorry that I completely missed that in the picture. But yes, I worked 13 hours in addition to the 26.53 hours. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that when you work overtime, meaning the 85 hours that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you start to make time and a half per hour. So because our regular hourly is $21.04, time and a half would be $31.56. So that 26.53 hours was then multiplied by my time and a half hourly of $31.56, which gave me an additional $837.29 on my check. That's in addition to the bare bones $757.44. Now that equals $1,594.73. So now we have to calculate in the per diem that I made for the month prior. So the per diem that I made for the month prior was $903.45. And that brings us to a total of $2,498.08. So of course, taxes came out and brought me down to $2,310.02. And I do also want to throw in there that our per diem is non-taxable. So all of that money does not get touched by the government, and that whole $903.45 was thrown onto that check with no taxes taken out. So yeah, as you can see, per diem really does help you out a lot. Like I almost made an additional $1,000 from per diem, and then of course working overtime, that was also almost another additional $1,000. So you got to work overtime and you got to actually work so you can get that per diem to see a higher check amount, of course. So that example was the highest check that I have received on a 15th check. And then now I will give you guys an example of a check that I have received on the last day of the month. So on one of my last day of the month checks, I received $628.97. That is net pay. So that is minus my taxes and everything. Yeah, so I received $757.44 for half of my guarantee. And then I received $70 in Cloud Cash. I don't know how that happened. So I received an additional $70 of credit card money. I guess I was working that previous month with credit cards. I don't know how I got that. And then that brings me to a total of $800.27.44. And then, of course, my taxes were taken out for a net total of $628.97. So as you guys can see, new hire flight attendants don't really make that much, but you kind of just have to make it work. You have to work more. You like it just, I wanted to make this video so that it is very realistic of what flight attendants make. I want to be able to kind of give you guys the real and not really sugarcoat things, especially when it comes to money, because a lot of people they don't talk about real dollar amounts for their own specific reasons, but I have no problem with it. I want to let you guys know like what you are realistically going to be making as a new hire flight attendant. Now, of course, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, our hourly, in my opinion, is very low compared to other airlines, and I think that is a problem. I think that definitely needs to change soon, and I have a feeling that it will, because it just has to. Like, it's so low compared to other airlines, and like I said, regionals are making more money than us currently. So yeah, it needs to change, but the money is there to be made. You just have to work a lot more, and it will get better. It does get better. We do receive our first raise at 6 months, and it is a pretty good raise relatively. I think it's about $2. I don't know the exact amount, but our hourly does jump quite a bit at 6 months, and then we receive another raise 6 months after that on our yearly anniversary, and then we receive a raise every year after that until we cap at some year. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that you learned something. I hope that it was understandable. I hope I broke it down well. I just wanted to get right to the point, so I hope that I did that for you guys. Definitely, if you have any questions, comment them down below and I will try my best to answer all the questions that I can, as detailed as I can. So definitely comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, share with somebody that you think needs the information, and definitely subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.